What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing a kind of we're going to be working on from the video yesterday, where we're going to be going through the best and worst value for all 5 positions. Again, I had not planned on doing this over the course of a couple of days. The problem is that there's just no content. There isn't. So obviously we managed to get an Money Spend episode doing this video, and then later on either later on or right before this, I'm not sure when I'm going to be uploading, is going to be either this video or it is going to be a video showcasing one of the players just happens to be on one of these lists. But anyway, now let's get onto the list. Also, if you guys are new to this type of series, this is purely based on value. This is not the best. Even though the best of these cards, surprisingly enough, is actually on the best value list, and the worst of these cards, yeah, they're probably a lot of the best value ones. However, it is purely based on value. For example, if there's a 3k MT card and a 70k MT card, the 70k MT card is probably going to be better, but if they're almost the same, they don't feel much better, there is no, that's the reason why certain players are bad value, certain players are good value. But anyway, that is enough talking. Now let's get on to the players. So the number 5 worst value is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Is he a bad card? No. But he suffers from the same fate as most of these guys. He locks in for something. The problem is that he also only locks in for Trae Young, who's not a great card, but 9089, like, he's a good card. He's a 6'6 player that can play point guard. 31 gold badges. The problem is he does not have gold range extender, or not gold range extender. He does not have gold quick draw, which is so important. He's got silver clamps, which is good. He's a beast of a defender. Like, he's got decent dunk, 3 balls good when he's wide open, can dribble it a bit. Good perimeter defensive stats. He's got length, point guard position, good lateral quickness. As far as defenders go, he is fantastic. But again, like, he's not much better than Jrue Holiday. He's not much better than Jrue Holiday's initial card, the Ruby, and he's also, in my opinion, worse than Jrue Holiday Amethyst. But yeah, 4 times the price of that. So I can't justify having him not on this list when there's alternatives that are almost as good, if not better, for 75% cheaper. At number 4 for, I think he's around 120k MT, is Devin Booker. Same reason, like, again, most of these guys are moments of the week cards. And I don't take into account why these guys are bad value, I just take into account that they're bad value. And I see a lot of people using these guys without locking in the sets, which is really weird. 1, I would never advise you guys to lock in a set. 2, I would never advise you guys to use these players. Like 6'6", volume shooter, tireless shooter, Hall of Fame, a lot of gold badges, steady shooter, he's got quick draw, he's got range extender, he's got no real defensive badges. Got a 3-point shot of 92, driving of 75, decent ball handle, obviously got no quick first step, no real defense, not great speed, and you'll be looking at these stats. And there is going to be some like Ruby cards later on in the video that you're going to look and think, in reality, they're the exact same. And that is true. There are Ruby cards that feel exactly like Devin Booker that cost 5 to 6k MT. He is well over 100. Without question, he's going to be on this list. And again, there wasn't that many terrible value point guards. There's a lot of terrible value 2 guards. And trust me, these next 3 are not good at all for the fact that, to show that this guy is only at number 3 or number 4. And number 3 is another player who goes for around the same as Devin Booker, a little bit over 100k. It's D'Angelo Russell. So D'Angelo Russell is a 6'5" 2 guard. He's actually got some good Hall of Fame badges. He's got some really, like, he's got great badges. Badges and animations wise, this card is fine. Trust me, he's fine. The problem is that he's over 100k, and look at these stats. Sure, he's got decent 3 ball, can't dunk. His passing stats are average at best for a passing guard. Terrible perimeter defense. 79 speed, speed ball acceleration. There are supposedly slow Ruby wings that are better than that. I'm trying to think. Is he much faster than this guy right here? He's barely faster than Kyle Korver. Barely faster than Korver. He's also got 72 lateral quickness. He has worse lateral quickness than Kyle Korver. And this is a Sapphire Korver. Not even a weird juiced Corver later on in the year. And this is meant to be a diamond D'Angelo Russell. That's over 100k. I don't care what he locks in for. I still see people using this guy coming up, using this guy in squads when they have no plans on locking him in for anything. This guy is terrible, terrible value. And number 2 is a guy who's a little bit cheaper, but I just think he's terrible. It's David Thompson. Like, this guy's a pink diamond, 97 overall, one of the highest overall player, or literally the highest overall player you can buy. You can't buy a 98 overall yet in my team. And he's just terrible. He's 6'4". It would be a bit of a redemption for him if he could play point guard, but he can't. He can only play at the small forward or 2 guard. He's also, yeah, sure, he's got a lot of Hall of Fame badges, but they're all kind of finishing badges, and some of them don't make a difference. Like, again, a pogo stick's a great badge for a big. Does pogo stick matter for a wing or a 6'4" player? I don't think so. He's also got not great goal badges. Sure, he's got quick draw, but his release is terrible. His release is terrible. He's got quick first step. He can go to the basket well. Again, if he can play point guard, he might be all right, but he can't. He can't shoot the ball. He's got a great driving dunk, good ball handle. He's got an 85 block, which is useless on a 6'4" player. Good perimeter defense, got great speed and acceleration, great speed with ball. But you know what? The number 1 on my best value list plays exactly like this guy. I know obviously David Thompson might be a slightly better version of him, but they play exactly the same, and the number 1 on my best value list goes for 1k MT. 1k MT. Not a chance David Thompson belongs to be any or can go anywhere lower on this list. At least the other guys can shoot. Shooting's important, and at least the other guys can do that. However, number 1 is, I'm just telling you, this is not even a close one for number 1. At number 1, for probably close to 500,000 MT, I know the reason he's so expensive. I'm not questioning that. I know that the reason he's so expensive is because he locks in for Zach LaVine, and Zach LaVine is absolutely incredible. But basically 500,000 coins for a Donovan Mitchell card. And the funny thing is that it doesn't happen often, but there are still people that bought him initially for like 130k ish and have him in their collection, don't realize he's 500,000 while he's gone so rare, and actually are using him in games with no plans on locking in for that LaVine. And one, it's not, even if you do want the LaVine, it's not worth it. We're realistically going to get a pink diamond card, pink diamond LaVine at some stage later in the year. You can buy in the auction house, and it'll probably be a buyout. It'll be out late in the year. Do not spend 500,000 locking in. But he's got 3 Hall of Fame badges. You know what he doesn't have? Range extender or quick first step. 2 of the most important badges, especially because he's a 6'3" 2 guard. He's got Hall of Fame space creator. You cannot create any space with him. Whatever about that badge. Players just play tight on him and he can't burn them with quick first step. Or you can step under him if he's too far within a 3-point line. He can't hit shots at range extender. He doesn't have either of those, which is terrible. Stats wise are decent. Great dunk, good ball control. Not great perimeter defense. He's small, fast but not too fast. And he's just bang average. Like, I don't like this card. I wouldn't use this card on my no money spend squad. And he's the guts of 500,000 MT. It is ridiculous how bad value this card is. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully, I think the worst value 2 guards are the worst value of any of the cards, let's be real. But yeah, so now let's get on to the best value. So we're going to start off with Alec Burks for 1200 MT. And again, I always like to put at least one player on these lists for the extreme budget players. I mean the guys that are just starting this game. And there are certain players, like, I know a lot of people watching this video think this would be crazy, but there are certain players that can't really afford to spend more than 2,000 MT on a player. And if they spend 2-3k on a player, that would be kind of a little bit of a big buy for them. But at this price, you're not going to be getting much better than Alec Burks. So he's a 6'6" 2 guard. He's got 12 goal badges, including catch and shoot, quick draw, tire to score. Also no steady shooter, which helps. He's also got some good stats, like a good 3 ball, good mid-range shot. His release is fantastic. Great free throw rating. Unfortunately, he can't speed boost, but he's got not great perimeter defense. He's decent speed to ball acceleration, not great lateral quickness. But again, at this price, you're not going to get anything spectacular. So at this price, a lot of the time the point guards are some of the better players. You might get the odd center, but at 1200 MT, especially today, because who knows, tomorrow, considering the it's looking like flash packs are coming out. I can't guarantee that, but it's looking like they're coming out. So if that's the case, we're probably going to get a fast shooting wing for very, very cheap, maybe a little more expensive than this. So this list could be invalid in a day, but as of right now, Alec Burks is an absolute steal. There is no question about, like, he is a player that, while he's not going to make God squads, I used him in my No Money Spent squad, and he held his own against almost anyone. Isn't going to be great in defense, but offensively, he can compete with a lot of players. Like, he feels like an amethyst on offense, but his defense does leave a bit to be desired. So yeah, that's number 5. And number 4, in what is actually one of the biggest steals you can get. Obviously, he isn't the best value list, but in terms of if you guys want a defensive point guard to just lock people up, for just over 2.5k, or for 2.5k exactly, you can get yourself a Drew Holiday card. So I know there are still people that are using Jason Kidd just for defense purposes, and his release is broken. This guy does all the same things as Jason Kidd, but can actually play a little bit of offense. He's a 6'4" guard, and the big thing is that his secondary position is point guard. He's got 10 gold badges, including quick draw and gold clamps, as well as gold defensive leader. Got 5 silver intimidator is big, and got a good few bronze badges, including dimer. Obviously, he's an Evo card as well, which is huge because if you pick him up at this rate or at this level, you can always Evo him up. While it's not the biggest deal in the world a lot of time, when he goes to Amethyst, he becomes a beast. The Amethyst, however, is 20k, so I'm going to put the Ruby here. But you could probably Evo him up to an Amethyst in a couple of hours, or in probably a week or so of just normal play with him. But he is a brilliant card. Also got some decent stats. He's got a driving dunk of only 40, which isn't great, but he's got decent 3-ball, good mid-range shot. He's got good ball handling. He's not particularly fast, but he's got really good lateral quickness, and he's going to be locked down defense. However, even if you Evo him up to Amethyst, he gets the quick first step badge, gold, which is something that he is missing, and his speed goes way up. So he becomes much better just even with that one upgrade. So I would advise you to pick him up and try upgrade him. Or if you don't have the time, spend the extra 20k in the Amethyst. But even Amethyst Drew Holiday is a beast. And to be fair, the only reason this guy's not higher, if this was the point guard tier list, he'd be right up there at with the very best of the point guards. He might even be number 1. However, his only secondary position is point guard. So he's in there with the 2 guards, where he is without question one of the best value. At number 3 for 4,700 MT is Evan Fournier. So there are a lot of players you can use in this type of role. So basically the role that I'm talking about is the range extender player with 86 plus ball control that's a beast on offense but not great on defense. The problem is that there was a stage, I'd say from the middle of October to the middle of November, that 2K were releasing these cards in every single batch of packs. There were so many, and we were getting them left, right, and center. We were getting so many of these cards that people didn't know what to do with them. We were getting Nick Anderson, Nick Young, Evan Fournier, Buddy Hield, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn. We were getting so many of these guys. The problem is that we are now on a drought of these type of players. There's been a drought, and Evan Fournier was 2k MT. Nick Anderson used to be 2k MT. Buddy Hield, I picked him for like 1.9k MT. Right now, all of these guys are around 5k MT because it's about supply and demand. These guys are the perfect players for budget squads. Everyone's talking about them, and they're just not releasing anymore. So these guys getting rarer and rarer and more expensive. So I'm only going to put one of these type of players on this list, and that is going to be Evan Fournier. This guy is my favorite of all these. So badges wise, like, he's not going to be much on defense. Got slippery off-ball Hall of Fame. I don't think that's the biggest deal in the world, but he's got 16 gold badges, including range extender and quick draw. Release is unbelievable. He's got great 3-ball, great free throw. He's an 86 ball handle, which is good. His snatchback is incredible. I've come up against him enough times to know how OP that is, and I've used it enough times. Like, if you can get him a full head of steam and snatchback, he is going to create so much separation. It is crazy. He's also got good perimeter alright perimeter defense, decent speed, ball acceleration, okay lateral quickness, as well as being 6'7". So again, there's a bunch of cards do the same role. It's all preference, and in my opinion, Fournier is my favorite of them all. And at number 2 for 61k MT is Eddie Johnson. You know this card must be good when I'm putting him on this type of list and he's 61k MT. If you want to buy a comparable card on the wing to Eddie Johnson, there are very few. And I'm going to list the guys that I would even say are on his level, or maybe a little bit ahead. Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Kobe Bryant. You are paying at least 150 KMT for any of those guys. They're the only 3 guys, wings, in this game you can even make an argument are better than Eddie Johnson. This is one of the best guys in the game. Better than Kevin Durant. Better than LeBron James. They're diamonds. This is one of the best cards in the game. He's 61k. And all the cards I mentioned are well above the 100k mark, except for Eddie freaking Johnson. This guy's got 4 Hall of Fame badges. He's also got gold clamps, so he's locked down. He's got quick first step gold, stop and go goals, so we can go by people. He's got quick draw, range extender. Unfortunately, only silver, steady shooter. His release, fantastic. He's 6'7", so he's got good height for 2 guard. Great 3 ball, great mid range, great dunk, great ball handle. Good perimeter defense, decent speed, decent lateral quickness. And this is one of the best cards in the game. And the fact that he's on this list as one of or best value at 61k, just shows how good this card is. And at number 1 for 1200 MT. Again, this guy, within 3 weeks, if this guy is not, if they release super packs, what I've said right now is completely thrown out the window. It does not count if they release super packs. But if they don't release super packs, if this guy is not 5k MT within 3 weeks, I will be shocked. Lonnie Walker is unbelievable in this game. 11 gold badges, catch and shoot, difficult shots, acrobat, teardropper, volume shooter, quick first steps, literally finisher, quick draw, and he's got bronze stop and go. So you're looking like, all right, they're okay. Doesn't have range extender, which is again probably his only negative, but he's got a good enough or an okay driving layup, but I don't really notice too much because he dunks everything. 85 tendency, that's a lie. He dunks everything. He's got 85 driving dunk, 86 ball handle, which is perfect. He's got an unbelievable release, hits the threes at a really high rate when he's open. And on defense, good enough perimeter defense, good steal. He's got good lateral quickness. The thing is, 94 speed, 93 acceleration, 84 speed with ball. You turbo with this guy, and you'll see in my No Money Spent episode from earlier today. If you just turbo with this guy and run at the ring, he's going to do something good. He is unbelievable. One of the best cheap wings in the game, and unlike a lot of the other cheap wings that have progressively gotten better and better because 2K have been giving us less and less good ones, this guy is 1200 MT. And I'm telling you, if he's worth it at 5k. He's worth it. He's probably realistic worth is about 15k. He is better than every one of the current amethysts. He is better than most rubies. There's a reason why when you see people overall cheesing, trying to get their overall down below 85, just running with 5 players, there's a reason why you see teams with, say, Derrick Rose, David Robinson, a couple of others, and then randomly Lonnie Walker at the 2. He is that good. He is the best Sapphire in the game, in my opinion, and there are a lot of good Sapphires. Like Nick Young's a Sapphire, Mira San's a Sapphire, and I genuinely think Lonnie Walker's the best. So anyway, that is the video. That is the best and worst value players. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.